Welcome back, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, double fertilization. So, first of all, what is double fertilization? The definition of double fertilization. You know that the female gametophyte of angiosperms is like this. You have here egg, two synergids, then antipodals, and in the center you have secondary polar nuclei. Okay, and the male gametophyte contains two male gametes which are present in the pollen tube. So double fertilization में होता क्या है? Basically, it is a fusion of two male gametes brought about by pollen tube with different cells of female gametophyte in order to produce two different structures. जो मेल गेमेटोफाइट होता है, पोलन ग्रेन होता है, पोलन ट्यूब होता है, उसमें जो दो गेमेट्स होते हैं, one male gamete fuses with one type of cell of the female gametophyte, and another male gamete fuses with another type of cell of the female gametophyte, and obviously we are going to get two different structures. Okay, we are going to get two different structures out of this fertilization. Double fertilization was first discovered by Navastian in the year 1898 in two angiosperms, namely Fritillaria and Lilium. Okay, the pollen tube, it releases two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. This is the synergid. Okay, say pollen tube enters at this point, it has two male gametes. Once it enters this synergid, it releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of this synergid, and thereafter the synergid bursts. Okay, the synergid bursts, and then later on the two male gametes, one of these two male gametes moves towards the center. It moves towards the center of the female gametophyte, where it fuses with the secondary polar nucleus or secondary polar nuclei, and another one fuses with the egg. Okay, so two acts of fertilization take place. One male gamete fuses with the egg, and another male gamete, it fuses with the secondary polar nuclei. We are going to discuss these two fertilization events. The first one, that is syngamy. Syngamy means one male gamete, it fuses with egg cell and produces diploid zygote, which later on develops into an embryo. And this act of fertilization, the fertilization taking place between male gamete and the egg cell, this is called syngamy or generative fertilization. Why generative fertilization? Because it ultimately results in the formation of embryo. It results in the formation of offspring. Okay, generative fertilization. The second one is triple fusion. The other male gamete, it moves towards the center of the female gametophyte, where you have the two polar nuclei. Okay, where you have two polar nuclei, or you can say the secondary nucleus if these have already fused, and it fuses with them to produce a triploid प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस. यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी ये दो न्यूक्लिय है और तीसरा आ जाएगा. They will all fuse and it will result in the formation of PEN. What is PEN? Primary endosperm nucleus. This PEN is triploid. It is having three sets of chromosomes. Two are already there and one comes in the form of male gamete. And this PEN, it develops later on to form the endosperm. Okay, so endosperm, it is the food for the embryo. This act of fertilization is called triple fusion or vegetative fertilization. Simple. So you have two acts of fertilization, syngamy and triple fusion. Triple fusion में क्या होता है? The other male gamete, it fuses with the primary secondary polar nuclei and results in the formation of PEN, which is a triploid nucleus. Okay, and this PEN, it later on develops to form the endosperm, which is the food material for the embryo. Now you can see the different events that occur during the fertilization. Here you can see, first of all, pollen grain drops. It lands on the surface of stigma. Then it starts germinating. It produces a pollen tube. This pollen tube moves through the style. It contains two cells, or you can say nuclei. Sorry, it contains two nuclei. One is tube nucleus and second one is generative nucleus. Okay. Then it moves further through the tissues of style, and then ultimately this pollen tube carrying two nuclei, it reaches the embryo sac. Okay. At the same time, it is generative nucleus has divided to form two male gametes. याद रखना. At the same time, the generative nucleus of the male gametophyte, it has divided mitotically to form two male gametes, and then ultimately the pollen tube, it enters into one of the synergids. It releases its two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. The synergid bursts, and one of the two male gametes, it fuses with the egg to form the zygote, and another one, it starts migrating towards the center of the female gametophyte, where secondary polar nuclei are located. All these three nuclei, they fuse to form the PEN. Here you can see. Okay, now you have PEN, which is a 3N nucleus, and you have the zygote. This zygote will later on form the embryo, and this PEN, it will result in the formation of endosperm, which is a nutritive tissue for the embryo. Okay, so this is all about double fertilization. Now the significance of double fertilization. Why is double fertilization significant? What is the importance of double fertilization? It gives stimulus to the plant, due to which ovary develops into fruit and ovules develop into seeds. It is fertilization. It is the fertilization that gives a sort of stimulus to the plant so that it can develop fruits. Okay, so that it can develop fruits from ovaries, and also the ovules, they get transformed into seeds. So जो fertilization है, या you can say the double fertilization, it is a sort of stimulus that allows the plant to convert its ovary into fruit and the ovules into seeds. The second one is it restores the diploid condition by fusion of haploid male and female gametes. It is the fertilization that restores the diploid condition. Okay, because in fertilization there occurs fusion of haploid male and haploid female gametes. It results in the formation of diploid zygote, which develops into an embryo and gives rise to a new plant. It is a fertilization that results in the formation of diploid zygote. Without diploid zygote, there will be no embryo formation. That means fertilization, or you can say double fertilization, it is very much important. It results in the formation of triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which develops into endosperm in the seed. This endosperm, it provides nourishment to the developing embryo. So this is all about the double fertilization and some of the importances of double fertilization. Once again, I will repeat these significances of double fertilization. It gives stimulus. That means without fertilization, without pollen tube penetrating into the embryo sac, there will be no fruit and seed formation in plants. That means fertilization is very much important. It restores the diploid condition. Without fusion, without fertilization, there will be no formation of diploid stages in the life cycle. That means जो sporophyte है, for the formation of sporophyte bag, the fertilization is a prerequisite. The third one is it results in the formation of diploid zygote, which forms the embryo, and the embryo gives rise to a new plant. And the fourth one is it results in the formation of PEN, and this PEN, it gives rise to endosperm, which is the nutritive tissue for the developing embryo. So with this we have completed double fertilization. See you soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care.